What's up, and thank you for listening to the Steve and Jay Show. I am Jayson Courier, and today I'm going to do something a little bit different. Steve is unable to make it today, so I thought I would do a little bit of an experiment. We have been talking for a while now about doing a Ring of Honor review and reaction show to go along with the WWE shows that we do. It's something that we got turned on to Ring of Honor wrestling very recently. We actually just started watching here a few months ago. One of our listeners here actually suggested it and ended up sending me a link to be able to stream the Ring of Honor TV. And it's something that's not available on TV here. I'm in Central California, Sacramento area, and the only channel that it was even available on in California was like down in Bakersfield, I believe it was, or Burbank, one or the other. And so we're not able to just watch it on TV. We have to kind of be creative, and I actually just found a streamer today that's going to allow us to stream it in full HD. So we're pretty excited about that. We've been watching it through this link that the signal quality was just a little bit inconsistent. It would fall to kind of a lower quality at times and then pop up to HD, but I was able to find something today that's going to let us watch it in full HD all the time, so we're pretty excited about that. It's pretty neat for us. So, if you could please click subscribe down below, and don't forget to click that notification bell if you'd like to receive notification when we post our new stuff. You can visit us on Facebook. Just search for Steve and Jay Show. We should pop up pretty easily there. You can follow us on Twitter at Steve and Jay Show. You can send us an email, thesteveandjayshow@gmail.com. We are getting closer and closer on our website as well. It's still under construction, but we're getting closer. steveandjayshow.com is going to be that home eventually. So yeah, please follow us. Anyway, to the show. Ring of Honor episode number 312 was the episode that I just watched. I believe that it aired, today is September 13th. I do believe that it aired on September 10th. Again, I don't get to watch it live on TV, so I'm not really sure if it's new on Sundays or Mondays, to be honest with you, because I don't watch it live on TV anyway. Anyway, so Marty Scurll was in the booth this week instead of Colt Cabana. And the night started out with a promo replaying the Kingdom's attack on Jay Briscoe that's kind of spanned over the last 3 weeks or so, 3 weeks to a month. It's been a while. They've kind of been button heads for a while now. Jay Briscoe said that he is a liability, and that, I believe he said this last week, said that he is a liability, and the Ring of Honor officials have said that he can't wrestle because he is concussed. So they started out by replaying kind of the whole Jay Briscoe saga between he and the Kingdom. Bully Ray then came out and cut an in-ring promotion that was really pretty short. It's cool to see old Bully Ray in the ring, though. He says that he has always been a Ring of Honor fan, and that when he came to Ring of Honor, he wanted to be a part of the Briscoes because he had that kind of respect from them from afar. So He said that was the first thing that he wanted to do when he came in. He then said that at Death Before Dishonor coming up, his team was going to beat the Kingdom and then move on to beat the Young Bucks and Hangman Page for the 6-man tag title. So, which is a really cool belt, by the way. Great idea. I really like the idea of the whole 6-man tag title. I just think that's really cool. I think that's one of those things that WWE needs to go ahead and borrow from Ring of Honor. They need to pick that one up. I think that'd be cool to see on Raw. So, personal opinion. I just think that would be cool to see on Raw. Maybe I don't know if they could do it on SmackDown. I don't know if the roster's big enough and the show's long enough to do it, but they could probably incorporate that into Raw. That'd be cool. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Anyway, that was pretty much it from Bully Ray. He just said, I'm going to keep it short and sweet, and we're going to beat these guys, and then we're going to beat those guys, and that's it. So, first match of the night was between former BFFs Will Ferrara and Cheeseburger. Cheeseburger is an awesome little cult character type wrestler. Fun guy to watch. He plays the underdog well. They really play up the whole underdog thing with him. And his in-ring storytelling kind of plays to... He just wrestles like he's an underdog. He does. I really think he does a good job of playing that role. It's a cool little gimmick he's got. He plays. He's the classic. Everybody told you can't wrestle, and you're still doing it type wrestler. It's really cool little character. Before the match, they showed a promo that covered the fact that the two are former best friends, and they showed when Ferrara was at the fan signing and he pretended to be a fan and got close to Cheeseburger and then went on the attack. So they were really playing up the whole these two are former best friends thing. Good storytelling in this match. Like I said, they had that going for them, and the whole Cheeseburger is the underdog type thing going. They just, it's a fun little match. They do a good job altogether. Ring of Honor really does it right. I really like what they do. They just do a really good job. As the match is starting, Cheeseburger is the first one to be introduced. He comes out, crowd is loving him, and he's in the ring, staring up the ramp and waiting for Ferrara to come out. Ferrara's music starts, and from behind, Ferrara then attacks Cheeseburger. So, match has now begun. It was a fun little back and forth match. Like I said, Cheeseburger kind of does a good job of wrestling as the underdog type. He does a lot of maneuvers and moves, and as he's doing them, he almost looks kind of unsure of himself, like, oh shit, what am I doing here? Just good wrestler. Like I said, good little storytelling. He's the cult hero type. He's just fun little character. Dumb name, but fun little character. But I guess the name is kind of part of the deal too. So anyway, Cheeseburger kind of gets the advantage on Ferrara early. Does a running double knee into the corner. And then does this really cool springboard flip off the top rope from the outside to the inside of the ring. It was really cool. I always like the springboard stuff. I like the flippy dippy shit. So, then Cheeseburger got up on the top ropes again and delivered the double foot stomp to the chest of Ferrara, and then transitioned into a leg lock or ankle lock. Scroll in the booth had a cool little moment where he is yelling and screaming no, please don't tap out. Please don't tap out. Don't do this. Not the Cheeseburger. So again, they're playing up the whole Cheeseburger is the underdog thing. There was another springboard attempt by Cheeseburger, and this time Ferrara grabbed his head and delivered the old double knees thing. It was pretty cool. Again, I like that high-flying stuff, so anytime you can incorporate that in a match, I'm pretty much happy. There was what the announcer called the face wrecker attempt by Ferrara. I honestly don't know what the maneuver was supposed to be, but it didn't happen right, whatever it was. They then kind of transitioned that into a half Nelson into a kind of DDT thing. It looked like it was a makeup type move for the botch of the previous move. I don't know. Like I said, I'm still pretty new to it, so I'm not too sure. Cheeseburger managed to kick out, though, somehow, and Skull is yelling, how could this be? How is he kicking out? That type thing. It was just a fun little... Like I said, it was a good match. It was a cool former best friends match. It was good stuff. Ferrara is then standing above Cheeseburger, and he spits down on him. Disgusting, but yes, he spits down on Cheeseburger. Then he tries to kick Cheeseburger, who grabs his foot. Cheeseburger stands up and then spits in the face of Ferrara. Blech. Gross. I have a bit of a thing when spitting and wrestling, and I've always found it completely repulsing and disgusting when wrestlers are getting hit and punched and they do the spit thing. Unnecessarily gross. If I was ever to pay or land seats that were close enough to be spat on, I would be completely disgusted and would probably vomit right there. I don't even know what I would do. Anyway, it's a bit of a pet peeve for me, is the whole spitting thing in wrestling. Just don't do it. It's gross. There's no need for it. Anyway, so then Cheeseburger gets Ferrara into a full Nelson and then flips him over into a dragon suplex. And then transitions into a gut-wrenching pile driver. Ferrara somehow manages to kick out of that. Again, everybody's going apeshit crazy because how could he have done that? How could he kick out now? Cheeseburger goes up to the top rope and delivers the double stomp to the chest of Ferrara. Goes for the pin attempt then, and Ferrara this time puts his leg up on the bottom rope to break up the pin attempt. They kind of go back and forth a little bit more, and Ferrara ends up getting a crossface type chokehold thing on Cheeseburger, who refuses to tap out but passes out. So ding, 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 Ferrara wins by submission. And as Cheeseburger is laying on the mat passed out, Ferrara is standing above him, yelling and screaming and being cool, and then attacks Cheeseburger again, gets him back into the submission hold. As he's got him in the hold, Rhett Titus then charges into the ring, and looks like old Rhett's come to save the day. And he's standing there talking to Ferrara. They're both standing above Cheeseburger. And as it looks like Rhett Titus has come to save Cheeseburger, he then turns his attention to Cheeseburger as well and starts stomping Cheeseburger with Ferrara. And the two of them are stomping the living shit out of Cheeseburger. They stomp the cheese out of Cheeseburger. And that's the way that one ended. They then cut to Caprice Coleman and the Coleman's Pulpit. Yeah, that's what they're calling it, Coleman's Pulpit. And this week, Coleman had himself a set, and not just some fold-up chairs and a ROH backdrop. He actually had a little set this week, and he's kind of a fun little character. I like his character, but I tend to kind of like the heel characters. I just like guys that you can tell get a kick out of doing what they're doing, one, and two, that enjoy playing the heel and do it well. And I think that Caprice Coleman plays the heel pretty well. I like that arrogant heel thing that he's got going. He does a good job. And he kind of does the whole, this is me against Ring of Honor, and they're all out to get me type thing. And he plays a really good heel. I like his character. I like his work. He does good work. So, Silas Young, accompanied by the Beer City Bruiser, was next, and he took on Chase Brown from Future of Honor. So, young guy getting his chance against the old guy. And this is actually the first time that I have been able to see Silas Young in the ring. Like I said, I've only been watching for a few months now, and every other segment that I've seen with Silas has all been promotion stuff. I've seen him fight, but I've never seen him actually put on the trunks and wrestle. Everything else has been this whole promo that he's been doing with Jay Lethal, and his whole Jay Lethal hasn't been seen on ROH TV in X number of days, and there was that whole thing with Beer City Bruiser, and that's all I've really seen. I haven't seen any of his in-ring work. So anyway, this was pretty much Silas Young mopping the floor with the young guy. During the match, the most interesting part of the match was actually what was going on in the booth, and Marty Scurll was accepting the challenge sent out by Chuck Taylor to take him on at the upcoming pay-per-view. So like I say, that was probably the best part of the match was Scurll accepting Chuck Taylor's challenge at Death Before Dishonor coming up. So kind of a spinning backdrop thing by Silas, and he pinned Chase Brown for the big W. Silas then, after the match, turned his attention back to Chase Brown and started beating the hell out of him again. Jay Lethal then came charging into the ring and through security and confronted Silas, made him stop beating on the young guy. Security was trying to separate the two. It was kind of a cool little moment. I like what they do, what they're doing between Silas Young and Jay Lethal. I kind of like this little rivalry thing that they've got going. They're doing a good job with it. Jay Lethal then grabbed the mic as the two are being separated by security. He grabbed the mic and cut a little quick promo and said, hey, I don't want to wait. These people don't want to wait. Let's do this right here, right now. Get your ass back in this ring. And Silas then grabbed the mic himself and said, whoa, I know you're used to getting everything that you want, but you're not going to get this. Not tonight. I'm waiting for the pay-per-view, and I want to wait, and I can't wait for everybody to see me kick your ass type thing and what I'm going to do to you. He said, I can come in there in the ring right now and kick your ass, but I'm not going to. Fun little rivalry thing that they got going on here. Beer City Bruiser had a cane and was limping badly from his match last week with Jay Lethal, when Jay Lethal took the keg to his knee and then the chair to the keg and beat up Beer City Bruiser's knee. So it's been a neat little rivalry. I like the story that they've had going on. It's good stuff. Then Cody cut an interview backstage, and it was a promo for his match coming up at Death Before Dishonor with Minoru Suzuki. And the interviewer asked Cody if he regretted the open challenge now that Suzuki has accepted the challenge, with Suzuki being a pretty badass dude. And Cody said, no, I don't regret anything, and I'm a champion, and this is what I do, and I'm going to kick his ass, and typical type promo. Then they cut to commercial, come back from commercial. They've got the Young Bucks and Hangman Page and Marty Scurll walking through the backstage of War of the Worlds here last month. And the four of them walk past Dalton Castle and do the, hey, look what we have here. It's the guy we just beat. We're your boys. That type of thing. And they all kind of hover over Dalton Castle, who was sitting on the floor. Dalton stands up and looks pretty worried that the four of them are basically confronting him. And they're filming the whole thing with their iPhone or with their cell phone. Which, from what I've read, that's how the Young Bucks, that's what they are. That's what they're self-made, and that's how they made themselves. So was kind of a cool little moment. And as the four of them are standing there, they do the see you wouldn't want to be you thing and take off. And from behind, as Dalton is watching the four of them walk away, from behind, Cody Rhodes attacks. I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to call him Rhodes. Cody attacks. He beats up Dalton a little bit, kicks him through a door, out a door, outside. They slams him into a garbage bin. He slams a recycling bin into him. It was kind of funny. He stands over him and he is yelling at him, "You're a novelty act," which is pretty ironic considering that he played Stardust for so many years, which was a huge mistake. Anyway, so up next was the big main event, and it was Search and Destroy, Team Search and Destroy against Team Bullet Club. Representing Bullet Club was the Guerrillas of Destiny and the Young Bucks. So, the Search and Destroy team was made up of the Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, and Jonathan Gresham and Jay White. And this was kind of something that they've been setting up for the last couple of weeks. Bullet Club's had a problem with Motor City Machine Guns, as well as Jonathan Gresham and Jay White. Match starts out with Nick Jackson and Jonathan Gresham in the ring. Lots of back and forth in this one. Lots of suicide dives in this one. Starts out with the back and forth. Jay White. I'm sorry, before that. Starts out with a little back and forth between Nick Jackson and Jonathan Gresham. Gresham gets Nick outside the ring and is going to set up to do the suicide dive, but Matt is standing on the opposite side of the ring, outside the ring, off the apron, and grabs Gresham's legs as he goes against the ropes to go to the other side and do the suicide dive. As Matt grabs Gresham's legs, then Jay White goes in and gives Matt a suicide dive. Then Gresham can complete his suicide dive on Nick. So they have that little transition kind of back and forth thing. God gets in there and they kind of clean house a little bit. Motor City Machine Guns then get in there and kind of get the advantage on God. There was another suicide dive by Motor City Machine Guns, but they did kind of a cool little thing where one member got up on the second second rope and spread his legs, and the other member did the dive through the legs and through the ropes. It was just kind of a neat little twist, kind of cool. There was a really cool springboard kick by Nick off the turnbuckle in the corner. Then a cool little combo by the Young Bucks. They called it Around the World. I don't know them well enough to know if that's a thing, but the announcer said it. So, and it was cool. They do a lot of really, really cool work. I really like what they do. They're not the biggest tag team, but they do a lot of really cool stuff. And I'd actually heard that they were trained by Marty Jannetty, and I don't know if that's true or not, but if it is, I can kind of see the whole influence there. And when I was young, like I say, I didn't watch wrestling for a long time. And I recently started watching wrestling again when Steve's kid got me hooked on it, re-hooked on it. And so I've only been watching wrestling again for about the last 3 years or so. But I was a big fan when I was a kid, and I was a big fan of the Rockers. I loved Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels as a kid. Loved them. Anyway, I've always been a fan of the whole flippy dippy thing that they do, and the aerial attacks, and I just like all that stuff. So I can kind of see if that is true. I can kind of see the influence there in the Young Bucks. If they were trained by Jannetty, I can kind of see the influence there. Anyway, they had the combo, the Around the World combo. Then they do a double suicide dive. Again, this is kind of a suicide dive type match. Do the double suicide dive. Matt Jackson then got up on the top of this kind of stage area. The way that it was set up in this arena was they had the ring and then a short ramp, and then there was a stage area where the ramp normally would be. There was just a quick little set of stairs and then a stage that was rather close to the ring itself. So this kind of pile of wrestlers is bunched up together near this stage, and Matt Jackson gets up on the stage and does a really cool flip off the stage into this kind of pile of humanity. Wrestlers are falling everywhere. Somehow Nick Jackson pops up from the pile and celebrates with Matt. There's in the ring now. There's a super kick attempt by Nick Jackson that Grisham ducks out of. Grisham then does a springboard moonsault type thing and then does a suicide dive of his own. Jay White suplexes Nick in front of the turnbuckles, and Grisham climbs to the top ropes and looks like he's going to give him a swanton bomb from the top turnbuckle. But as he flips around, Tomatunga comes rushing into the ring and delivers a neck breaker. Really cool little boom, boom, boom thing. Cool timing. Great job. Just really cool. Fun stuff. Really liked it. There was a super kick by Matt on both Motor City Machine Gun members. Nick Jackson then came into the ring and kind of cleaned house a little bit with a series of kicks and knees and doing cool stuff. Matt comes in the ring then and does a cool pop-up of Nick, who then delivers a double kick back behind Matt. Really cool stuff again. The Young Bucks then lock in the double sharpshooter, and they're doing the too sweet thing in the middle of the ring, and that's broken up then. They do a cool little kind of combo thing again the Young Bucks do, where Matt power bombs his man into the corner turnbuckle, and Nick delivers a kick to the back of the head. Cool little combo thing again. Motor City Machine Guns eventually get the advantage on Matt and kind of lift him up onto their shoulders and grab his head and neck and flip him upside down, slam him down on the mat, flip him head over heels, slam down, and pick up the pin and the win. Again, I don't know what that maneuver is called, but it was really cool, so I'm sure it's got a name for it. Really cool stuff. Great match. Really fun match. Really, really fun match to watch. And that was the main event. So it was fun stuff. Ring of Honor has been really fun to watch. It's been a neat little experience. I've really gotten a kick out of it all. And we've actually had the pleasure of talking to a few independent wrestlers, and they're really cool people. A lot of really cool guys. There's been one that's been kind of a D-bag, but only one out of quite a few that we've been able to talk to. Just really awesome people. Really awesome. It's been a great experience. So yeah. Anyway, if you guys like the whole idea of the Ring of Honor thing, let us know. Comment down below if you could. Click the subscribe button down below if you could, please. If you want to be notified, if you want to be notified when we post new stuff, please click the notification bell. You can follow us on Twitter at Steve and Jay Show. You can find us on Facebook. We're really easy to find there. Search Steve and Jay Show. If you want to shoot us an email, you can at thesteveandjayshow@gmail.com. We are under construction still on our website, but we're getting real close. steveandjayshow.com. It's coming soon, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. As always, thank you very much. We really appreciate it. Steve should be back next week, we're hoping. I don't know if he's going to be a part of the Ring of Honor review thing. I don't know if I'm going to do another Ring of Honor review thing. Let us know. Let us know what you think. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. We really appreciate it as always. Thank you and have a good night.